हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू लीगल प्रूडेंट स्टडीज चैनल। आज की इस वीडियो में जानेंगे जैग स्कीम के बारे में, जैग इंडियन स्कीम अंडर इंडियन आर्मी। एज यू कैन सी द नोटिफिकेशन नोटिस रिगार्डिंग ज्वाइन इंडियन आर्मी। जैग एंट्री स्कीम 31st कोर्स October 2023 short service commission course for the law graduates, men and women, but that men and women must be unmarried. If you are married, then you are not eligible for that. Applications are invited from unmarried male and the unmarried female law graduates for grant of short service commission in Indian Army for JAG, that is Judge Advocate General Branch. एलिजिबिलिटी क्या है? एलिजिबिलिटी जानते हैं। एलिजिबिलिटी, नेशनलिटी होनी चाहिए आपको। एक कैंडिडेट मस्ट बी ए सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया और ए सब्जेक्ट ऑफ नेपाल, ए पर्सन ऑफ इंडियन ओरिजिन हु हैज़ माइग्रेटेड फ्रॉम पाकिस्तान, म्यांमार, श्रीलंका एंड ईस्ट अफ्रीकन कंट्री ऑफ केन्या, युगांडा, यूनाइटेड रिपब्लिकन ऑफ तंजानिया, Zambia, Malawi, Zaire and Ethiopia and Vietnam with the intention of the permanently sitting in India, provided that a candidate belonging to categories 2 and 3 above shall be a person in whose favor a certificate of eligibility has been issued by the Government of India. Certificate of eligibility will, however, not be issued in case of the candidates who are Gorkha subject of NEFA. So the age limit of the candidate should be 21 to 27 years as on 1st July 2023. Born not earlier than 2 July 1996, not later than 1st July 2002. 2002. Both dates exclusive. So your age must be either 21st year or 27 and between. So these are the eligibility. There is a note: candidates should not that the date of birth as recorded in the matriculation and secondary school examination certificates or an equivalent certificate on the date of the submission of application will only be accepted. No subsequent request for to change the will be considered or granted. So your age proof, like your matriculation or secondary school examination certificate, will be applicable. Education qualification: minimum 55% aggregate marks in their LLB degree, 3 years professional after graduation or 5 years after the 10+2. So you have scored 55% at least minimum to qualify for your education purpose. In addition, CLAT PG score of preceding year is mandatory for all candidates, including LLM qualified and LLM appearing candidates who apply for the course starting in particular year. Okay. The candidates should be eligible for the registration as an advocate with branch council of India or state. Candidates should be from college, university recognized by the Bar Council of India. Okay. So note 1: only those candidates who are holding LLB degree and mark sheet are eligible to apply for this course, provided that they meet other qualifications, educational qualification mentioned at para 2 clause C above. So vacancies: men 6, women 3. There are only 9 seats for the same post. Term and condition of the service: the tenure of the engagement short service commission will be granted to male and female in regular army for 14 years, that is for an initial period of 10 years, extendable by further period of 4 years. Male and female officers who are willing to continue to serve in army after the expiry of the period of 10 years of the short service commission may, by if eligible, suitable in all aspects, be considered for a grant of the permanent commission PC in the in the 10th year of their short service commission in the accordance with the relevant policies as issued from the time to time. Those SSC officer, male and female, who are not selected for the grant of PC but are otherwise considered fit and suitable will be given option to continue as CCOs uh, for a total period of 14 years, including the initial tenure of 10 years, on expiry of the which they will be released from the Indian Army. So there is the option for permanent service. So it will depend upon your whole aspect of your job up to 10 years. Okay. The period of probation. An officer will be on probation for a period of 6 months from the date and he or she receives his or her commission. If he or she is reported on within the probationary period as unsuitable to retain his or her commission, his or her services may be terminated any time, whether before or after expiry of the probationary period. Ante-date seniority. No ante-date seniority will be granted. If you look at the Article 16 clause 4(5), there is a clause for the seniority based promotion. So in this regard, that will not be provided. Okay, applicable. So termination of the commission, an officer granted short-term commission will be liable to serve for 10 years, but his or her commission may be terminated at any time by the government of India for the year the term and condition. Misconduct, his or her service are found be unsatisfactory on account of when found medically unfit. If his or her service are not longer required, if he or she fails to qualify in any prescribed test or course, an officer may, on giving 3 month notice, be permitted to resign his or her commission on compassionate grounds, of which Government of India will be the sole judge. An officer who is permitted to resign his or her commission on compassionate grounds will not be eligible for the terminal gratuity. To reserve liability, short service commission officer on release before or expiry of the contractual length of the service will carry reserved liability to serve the army for the 5 years plus 2 years on a voluntary basis, or up to the age of 37 years for men and the 40 years for men, is whichever is earlier. So training duration of the same job for is 49 weeks at the Officers Training Academy, OTA, Chennai. Selected content will be details for the pre-commission training at OTA, Chennai, according to their position in the final order of the merit, up to the number of the available vacancies, subject to the meeting all eligibility criteria. Candidates will neither be allowed to marry during the period of the training, nor will be he or she will be allowed to live with the parents, guardians. Candidates must not marry until they complete the full training at OTA, that is 49 weeks training. A candidate who marry subsequent to the date of the his or her application through the successful at the SSB interview and medical examination will not be eligible for a training. So a candidate, if he or she marries while under training, shall be discharged and will be liable to refund all the expenditure incurred on him or her by the Government of India. All the candidates who successfully completed pre-commission training OTA Chennai will be awarded postgraduate diploma in defense management and the strategic strategy by the University of Madras. Cost of the training. The entire cost of the training OTA is at the government expenses. In the case of the lady or gentleman, cadet is withdrawn from training academy due to the reason other than the medical ground or reasons not beyond his or her control. He or she will be liable to refund cost of the 15,055 rupees as on 29 2022 rule, and as notified from time to time for a week for the period of candidate stay at the officers training academy Chennai cadet training wing. The cost of the training is borne by the state, will be recovered from the cadets drawing for the personal reasons. The final allocation of arms services will be made period prior to the passing out of the gentleman, lady and cadets from OTA. Promotion criteria and the salary structure. So, rank lieutenant, captain, major, LC lieutenant, colonel, colonel TS, colonel. I'm sorry for the pronouncement. Brigadier, major general. Promotion criteria on commission, that lieutenant. On completion of 2 years, you may become captain. On completion of the 6 year, major. On completion of 13 year, lieutenant colonel. On a captain of the 26th year, Colonel Tias, on selection basis subject to the fulfillment of the requisite services candidates, Colonel Brigadier, Major Trainer, should pay Lieutenant level 10, 56,100 to 1,77,500, 500. Captain, these are the pay scale. So if you become Major General, then your salary will be 2,18,200 rupees. Brigadier, 2,17,600. Colonel, 2,15,900. So these are the your pay scale, bro. And ladies and gentlemen, military service pay MSP. MSP to the officer from the rank of the lieutenant to the brigadier, 15,500 per month fixed day. MSP, military service. Okay, these are the length from lieutenant. Everyone will easily get. So fixed stipend for the candidate training. A stipend to the gentleman or lady candidates during the entire duration of your training in the services academy, that is under the training OTA, 56,100 per month. So it's very happy journey. During the training, you will get your money. Okay. Successful commission, the pay in the pay matrix of the officer commission shall be fixed in first cell of the level 10. The period of the training shall not be treated as commissioned service. Arrears on account of the admissible allowance as applicable for the training period shall be paid. So now come other allowance, DNS allowance, admissible at the same rates as under the same candidates as are applicable to the civilian personnel from time to time. 1,500 per month, para allowance, para reserve allowance, para jump instructor allowance, project allowance, and special forces allowance, technical allowance, tier 1, technical allowance, tier 2. These are the base other allowance. Depending upon the rank and area of posting, officer posted to the field areas will be eligible for the following field areas area allowance. Rank lieutenant and above, lieutenant level 10 and above, 16,900. Okay. Now high altitude allowance, lieutenant and above, 4,400. Okay. Siachen allowance will be 24 months now. Okay. Uniform allowance subsumed into the newly posted dress allowance to 20,000 per year. Okay. Ration in kind in peace and field areas. Okay. Transport allowance PSK 2,500 per day. This is higher TPTA cities: Hyderabad, Patna, Delhi, Gujarat, Bengaluru, Kochi, कोझिकोड, इंदौर, ग्रेटर मुंबई, नागपुर, पुणे, कोयम्बटूर, गाजियाबाद, चेन्नई, कानपुर, लखनऊ, कोलकाता. These are the higher TPTS cities. Okay, the allowances shall not be admissible to those service personnel who have been provided with the facility of the government transport. Okay, officer in pay level 14 and above who are entitled to use official car will have the option to avail officer car facility or draw the TPTA at the rate of the itna DA per month thereupon. The allowance will not be admissible for the calendar month wholly covered by leave. Physically disabled service personnel will continue to be paid at double rate subject to the minimum of now. Okay, children education allowance. 2020 50 rupees 2250 rupees per month per child for two eldest surviving only. CEA, that is children education allowance, is admissible from nursery to 12th class. Okay, reimbursement should be done just once a year after the completion of the financial year, which for most schools coincides with the academic. Certificates from the head of the institution where the ward of the government employee studies should be sufficient for this purpose. The certificate should confirm that the child studied in the school during the previous academic year. In the case of the allowances specific to defense forces, the rates of these allowance would be enhanced by the 25% automatically each time for the dearness and payable on the revised pay band goes up by 50%. Okay, hostel subsidy 6,075 6,750 rupees per month per child for two eldest only. Hostel subsidy is admissible from nursery to 12th class. Okay, please note that pay and allowances and rules provisions thereof are subject to the revision time to time. Okay, army group insurance fund. The gentlemen and lady cadets when in receipt of the stipend are insured for the 1 crore as per the rule 2022 as applicable to the officer of the regular army. For those who are invalidated out of the IMB on account of the disability and not entitled to any pension will be provided 25 lakh rupees for 10% disability, 100% disability. This will be proportionately reduced to 5 lakh for the 20% disability. However, for less than 20% disability, an ex gratia grant of the 50,000 only will be paid. Disability due to the disability benefit and ex gratia due to the alcoholism, drug addiction, and due to the disease of free enrollment origin will not qualify for the disability benefit and ex gratia grant. In addition to the gentlemen and lady cadets drawn on the disciplinary ground and expels the undesirable or leaving the academy voluntarily will not be eligible for the disability benefits and ex gratia. Okay, subscription at the rate of the 10,000 will have to be paid in advance on monthly basis by the gentlemen and lady cadets to become the member under the AGI scheme as applicable to the regular army officer. The subscription for the regardless delegated period would also be recovered at the same rate. How to apply? Now the how to apply, these are the most important part. Okay, the application will only be accepted online on the website www.joinindianarmy.nic.in. Okay, let's copy this link. Okay, click on officer entry application login and then click the registration not required if the already registered on the data. Fill the online registration form after the reading the instruction should be read carefully. Okay, after the getting the registered, click on apply online. Under the dashboard a page officer selection eligibility will open. Then click the apply shown against the short service commission JAG entry course. A page application form will open. Read the instructions carefully and click continue to fill details as required under the various segments: personal information, communication details, education details, and details of previous access. 7 continue each time before you go to the next segment. Okay, after filling the details on the last segment, you will move to the page summary of your information, wherein you can check and edit the entries already made. Only after the ascertaining the correctness of all your details, click on submit. Candidates must click on submit each time they open the application for editing any details. The candidates are required to take out two copies of their application having roll number 30 minutes after the final closure of online application on last day. Okay, candidates are advised to read the notification carefully and then fill up the online application form to avoid the mistake and thereby rejection of the application. Important note: no change to details submitted in online application can be made after the closure of the application. No representation in this regard shall be entertained. CGPA grades must be converted into marks as per the formula adopted by the concerned university for filling the marks obtained in the graduation in online application. Any discrepancy observed at any stage of the selection process will lead to the cancellation of the candidate. Candidate's name, parent name, father, mother, date of birth in the examination certificate or equivalent certificate issued by the concerned board of the education variation in above details will lead to the cancellation of the candidate. Okay, self-attested copy of the following document along with their originals are to be the carried for the selection center by the candidates. One copy of the printout of the application duly signed and fixed with self-attested photograph. Matriculation and secondary school examination certificate or equivalent certificate and mark sheet issued by the concerned board of the education. Matriculation and secondary school of examination certificate or equivalent certificate issued by the concerned board of the education will be only accepted as proof of date of birth. Candidates name and the parents name, father and the mother, and no other document like admit card, mark sheet, transfer certificate, etc. are be accepted. In case parents name, father and mother is not mentioned in your matriculation or secondary school examination certificate or equivalent certificate, the candidate is required to produce any document issued by the government of India or the state government such as PAN card, Aadhaar card or passport, driving license, etc. for the verification. However, the candidates and their parents' name filled in online application must match exactly with those mentioned in the produced document. Okay, 12th class certificate and mark sheet also required. Graduation degree, provisional degree in case of the 3 years LLB, okay, issued by the recognized university. Provisional degree should not be more than the 6 month old at the time of the candidate joining the academy. Oh god. Okay, the degree provisional the degree or provisional degree issued by the recognized university. Provisional degree should not be more than the 6 month old at the time of the candidate joining the academy. Okay, the mark sheet of the all year or semester should be required. would be required. Registration with the Bar Council of India or a certificate from the college or is university that the LLB course in said institution is recognized by the Bar Council of India. The certificate issued by the university regarding the formula for the conversion of the CGPA grades into the marks followed by the university. So that will be required. CLAT PG scorecard. Then there is must CLAT PG scorecard. Okay. Any candidate who does not carry the above documents for the SSB interview, his or her candidature will be considered and he or she will be returned. Okay. All the documents is original to be carried by the candidates for the SSB interview for verification. Originals will be returned after the verification at the SSB itself. Okay. The second copy of the printout of online application is to be retained by the candidates for reference. There is no need of to send any hard copy to the Directorate General Recruitment. Candidates must submit only one online application. A shift for multiple applications from the same candidate will result in cancellation of the candidature and no representatives will be interchanged in this regard. Candidates serving in the armed force are required to inform their commanding officer in writing that they have applied for the examination. Application of the candidate serving in the armed force duly countersigned by the commanding officer should be taken along with all the documents as stated above to the SSB interview as and when called for the same. Selection process. The selection process is follows. Shortlisting of the candidate integrated HQ and of MOD Army reserved the right for the shortlisting of the application without assigning any region. After shortlisting of the application, the center allotment will be intimated to the candidates via their mail email. After the allotment of the selection center, candidates will have to log in the website and select the SSB dates which are available in on a first come first service basis initially. Oh bhai. Okay. Thereafter, it will be allotted by the selection center. The option of the select date for the SSB by the candidate may be forfeited due to the occurrence of any exceptional circumstances and event. Okay. Only shortlisted eligible candidate will undergo SSB at the selection center. Allahabad, UP, Bhopal, Bangalore, Kapurthala, call up the for the SSB interview will be issued by the respective selected selection center on the candidate's registered email ID and SSB only. Allotment for the selection center is at the description of the Directorate General of the Recruiting IHQ of MOD and the no request for the change will be entertained in this regard. Candidate will put through the two-stage selection procedure. Those who clear the stage 1 will go to the stage 2. Those who fail in stage 1 will be returned on the same day. Duration of the SSB interview will be 5 days. And the details of the same are available on the official website of the Directorate General of Recruiting, that is www.joinindianarmy.nic.in. This will be followed by the medical examination for the candidate who get the recommended after the second stage. Okay. Candidates recommended by the SSB and thus declared medically fit will be issued joining letter for the training in the order of merit depending on the number of the vacancy available subject of the meeting all the eligibility criteria. Medical examination. Please visit www.indianarmy.nic.in for medical standards and procedure of medical examination for the officer entry into the Indian Army as applicable. Note: the proceeding of the medical board are confidential and will not be divulged to the anyone. Directorate General of the Recruiting has no role to play in any medical board, and the procedure advised by the medical authorized will be strictly adhered. Entitlement for traveling allowance. Candidates appearing for the SSB interview for the first time for a particular type of the commission shall be entitled for SC tier, 3 tier, and to and for railway fare and or bus fare including the reservation cum sleeper charges within the Indian geographical limits. Candidates who appear again for the same type of the commission will not be entitled to travelling allowances on any subsequent occasion. Okay. For any query clarification regarding the admissibility or payment of travelling allowances, the candidates may directly approach the concerned section center. Okay, merit list. It is to be noted that mere qualifying the SSB interview does not confirm the final selection. Merit list will be prepared on the basis of the marks obtained by the candidates at the SSB interview. In case equal SSB marks are obtained by the more than one candidate, that the older candidate in age will be ranked higher in the merit. In case of both the candidates, the age of the more than one candidate are the same. The candidate with higher percentage of the marks in qualifying examination will be placed higher in the merit. Higher educational qualification, previous performance, etc., have no role to play. Those in the merit list and who came within the stipulated vacancies and are medically fit will be assured joining letter for pre-commission training OTA Chennai subject to meeting at all eligibility criteria. Now, on joining Indian Army, some of the personal restrictions in service will be imposed in accordance with the Article 33 of the Constitution as promulgated in the Army Act and the Army rules from time to time. Okay. Change of interview date or center. Request for the change of interview date or center will not be entertained or replied. Any ambiguity, false information, concealment of information detected in the certificate or documents or online application will result in cancellation of the candidate at any stage of the selection of thereof. Candidates should have never been debarred from appearing in any examination by UPSC. Candidates withdraw from the NDA or IMA or Naval Academy or Air Force Academy or any service training academy or disciplinary ground are not eligible to apply. Okay. Online application will be open on 18 January 2023 at itna and close on 26 February 2023 at